So today's question we're going to do is the knife block on page 123 and it's question 3. Okay. So the first view we're going to take is the elevation, which is looking in from A. Then we'll take the plan, which is looking from the top, and then we'll take the end elevation. And if you look at the bottom left of the page, it already gives the elevation. So when you're drawing this in your sheet, it's going to be a tight squeeze to fit it onto this A3 sheet. So we're going to first for this top edge here, we're going to come down our page 2 millimeters. You can draw just a light line like that. Yeah. So that line we just drew is this one here, 2 millimeters from the top of the page. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to come down this measurement here, which it says, if you look at the book, it says 190. So we come down from that line 190, and that is our XY line. So this is our XY line. So next part we'll get is the base. So from the edge of the sheet here, we'll come over 30 and mark it. So we came over 30 and that will give us this point here. So from that 30 line, we can come over our 40, which I'm taking from the book, and then from that we'll come over 80, and then we'll come over 10. So that is the base. Now we'll come up our 10, on both sides, and join them up. So what we've drawn there is this here. So the next part we're going to get is this semicircle. So by getting the center of that, we come in our 10 from this edge, and the radius of the circle is 40, so we'll come in our 40, and get your compass, set your compass to 40, and you can draw your circle. I'll just go over this in pen tree. So I hope my hand will be steady enough. So in the drawing you wouldn't do this because you can use your compass and you'll be able to see that heavy enough. Okay, so that's our semicircle drawn here. So the next part we're going to get is this first knife slat, and the way we'll get that is we will come up from our center point of the circle. We'll come up 90 degrees lightly up to the line we drew at the very start. And if you look at this 3D version, you can't see it in this picture now, but it tells us that this top line is 50. So because that top line is 50, we'll come over from our center line 25 on each side. So 25 here and 25 here. So we all know these are heavy lines, so they can be heavied in. So that is the first knife slat cut out. So the next knife slat, if you look at the drawing, it gives us an angle here of 105 degrees. So we'll put our protractor on the center of the circle again, and we will come out 105 degrees. And again, this is a light line. So this is 90. There. $105. So an important thing to note here is when we come out our 105 degrees, that we come up 155 here to get the center point here. Okay. So and it's 105 from the XY line. So see where 105 will hit your line, mark it off. And again, that top part is 90 degrees. So put your protractor on that point you just marked and come out 90 degrees like that. And that's a light line there. So same as the last side, so we can come out our 25 on each side. 25 and 25. And you can join them up maybe. So just remember, when you're joining this now, we're going to have hidden detail on this point, like that. And to get the 2 points coming down, we'll use our sliding set squares. Like that. And join them back to the semicircle. And the hidden detail side, the same. Okay. So next, the last and final step that we're going to do is this one here. And if you look at the drawing again, it says that this angle is 60 degrees. So we can use our 30-60 set square. Again, use the center of the circle and come out lightly with your center line, 60 degrees, and that's 114 up from the XY line. So again, remember your hidden detail in this. So 114 is there for me. Mark it off. And again, you can, so just note here that this is 90 degrees here and 90 degrees here. And the same here. So we're getting 90 degrees there as well. So again, we come out our 25 on each side. 25. Like that. And 25 out like that. So just double check. 25, yeah. And that will join back. So remember again your hidden detail. And your top. So, and you have hidden detail on this also. So okay, so that is the elevation drawn. So next we're going to move on to the plan. And remember that it's going to be a tight fit. So we'll just look at the plan, and the width of the plan is going to be 100. Wide, okay? So I have 105 here. So my XY line is only going to be, so the distance between my XY line and the top of the plan is I'm only going to give myself 3 mil. So it's really tight up here, okay? So with the plan, you know that you could just you transfer all your points down. So we'll start with the base, bring our base down like so. Okay, and we'll mark off our 100 width. So it's a tight squeeze, so I hope you can all see this. So just mark your edges of your base first, and where the curve. Okay, so if you look at the top drawing on the page 123, it tells us, it gives us all the dimensions. So it starts off 8, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, and another 8. So we're going to come in our 8. So first we're just bringing down all our measurements, and we're going to come in our 8 like that, and our 8 like that. And the best way that I would do with the 12 is use your compass and set it 12. So you're reducing the amount of error that you can have. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So from this now we can come in and get, so the part that we're drawing at the moment is just this semicircle half cylinder object, okay? And when you see when a curve is viewed in plan, or when it's viewed straight on, it just appears as a line like this, and at the bottom of it just like that. So that can be heavy then. And so can the outline of the border. So next part we're going to get is the curve on the base, and if you look, it tells us, it gives us a radius of 50. So set your compass to 50. Set your compass to 50, mark it off here. So here to here is 50, and we'll just come down another 50, okay? So we'll come down our 50, and now we can draw in our circle. again, we'll heavy all this in. So as you can see here, it's really tight, and I'm going to just heavy this curve in, but you don't have to do this. So this is the main part of the plan. So we're moving on to a tricky part now. So getting the slots in the plan. Okay. So these are just our distances of 12 apart here. That we marked off with the compass, so we know that each one is the same. Okay, so where do we go from here? How do we get the measurements for the slots and plans? So we're going to bring them from the elevation. So I'll try and get you to. So we're going to bring all these points down to plan. So we'll do it one by one. So we'll start off with the very first slot that we cut out. So this will be the easiest one. So we know we come in our 12 and then the slot is here, like so. Okay, so that's the first slot done. That's the first slot done. So the next slot is we're going to bring these 2 points here, and they're points where they hit the semicircle. So again, set up your bring down your points. So you know there's a gap of 12 between the two slots. So we're skipping this slot, and we're going to bring it down. And there will be hidden detail in this. And as you can see now, after you have this done, you can see that it's going out over this space. So we'll just extend these lines out like so, and we can heavy them in. Okay, so this bottom one here will be hidden because we won't be able to see it. So that is the second slat done. And the final slat, we do the exact same thing. We bring our points down from elevation, and remember we skip a gap of 12, so we bring them down, and again we must just extend out our line here again. Okay, so I'm going to go over this heavy again. So look out for your hidden detail line again, which is going to be so just these lines here won't all actually be, so there'll be hidden detail there. Okay, so just correct that when you get a chance. Okay, so that is our plan done. So next we move on to our end elevation. So remember, with our end elevation we bring our points up at 45 degrees and we bring them straight up. Okay, so I'll just so in our end elevation we know that the heights stay the same from our elevation. So our plan, so our, yeah, and the width will be taken from our plan. Okay. So just to remind you, it says that to draw the end view looking in from direction B, so from arrow B, which is this one here. So we're looking in this way, so when we look in from the left, we'll draw it on the right, okay? And remembering that our heights will stay the same, so we can bring these across from our elevation. So have a look at that at the moment. So the next part we're going to get is the half cylinder. So the way we get that is we transfer these points onto our datum line here, like so. So we have two of them, and then we bring these up at our 45 degrees again. Okay. So remember with this, don't bring all your lines up at once because you'll get confused. So and again we'll get our height from our elevation. So we can heavy in the sides but not the top yet because we still have to draw in the slats. Okay. So how we're going to get the slats, same thing. We have our 12s marked off already. So we have 12, 12, so we can just bring them 45 degrees up. And vertically straight up. So if you can see there, that's why so at the moment we're finished with bringing all our measurements from the plan. So I'm just bringing you up to the elevation and end elevation. So again, we take our heights, from the elevation. So we'll start off with the small slat first. So the small slat is here and here. So we'll get where it hits the curve first. So we'll bring this point across like this. And we mark that heavy. So then the next point that we'll get is this one here. And we can mark that in heavy there again. Like that. Point here will also be heavy. And the final point will be here. So it's nearly sitting on the, so that would be a hidden line because we can't actually see it. So that is the small slat drawn. So the next slat we'll move on to is the medium one, so the second one, the middle one. We do the same thing. So remember to skip your gap of 12. So that line I just drew would be this one here. So next point we're going to draw is this point up here. And then the very tall point. And this point here will be the very last one. So remember, this will be hidden again and this line will also be hidden. So we can draw that in heavy now. The final part we're going to draw is the big slat. So if you can see here, these 2 points here and here are on the same, so they're the same height up. And remember that this is the big slat, so these 2 points will also be on the same. So we can draw one big heavy line up here, right up, and finish up. And the last part we need to draw is and we're done. So that is page 1, 2, 3, question 3. So let's see, can we get a full view of that now? So as you can see, it will just fit in it will just about fit in the page. The hardest part with this would be finding these 2 slats and then transferring them down to find these, what they are as a slope, when in plan, as when they're at a slope. So I hope that helps you, and yeah.